Welcome to another edition of Reyes Power International 2021. Today I want to talk about, is protein absorption really limited to 30 grams per meal? Now, this has been a controversial subject for quite a number of years. Many nutritionists believe that only 30 grams of protein can be absorbed in one sitting. Now, supplement companies have told us that it's much higher. So how many grams of protein can be ingested before muscle protein synthesis ceases to increase? Recent studies have found that increasing protein beyond 30 grams per meal produces an increase in the production of urea. Now, we know that digesting protein releases toxic ammonia into the bloodstream, where it is transported to the liver for detoxification. Now, the blood is again filtered by the kidneys and excreted from the body in the urea. So the extra protein is not just passing through, it's actually being processed as indicated by the increased production of urea. Now, since eating protein increases urea production in order to push the extra ammonia and toxins out of the body, extra water consumption is also required. Few trainees realize that additional water is needed for this purpose. Now, we've been led to believe that everyone's intestines are 30 feet in length. Now, everyone has a small intestine and a large intestine. Now, while the large intestine is usually about 5 feet in length, the small intestine can vary from 9 to 16 feet. The small intestine is where water and most of the nutrients are absorbed. The large intestine is where the feces are formed. Now, one study of bodies donated to science recorded a total length of intestines anywhere from 21.9 feet to 30.3 feet. Now, people that weighed more tended to have longer intestines. Larger people can absorb more protein, but studies indicate that the length of the intestines has nothing to do with the amount of protein that can be absorbed. Now, a bodybuilder with greater muscle mass than the average person can absorb more protein due to what? The increased protein synthesis necessary for the muscles to maintain their size. Most magazine articles of the past have concerned themselves with how much protein a bodybuilder should eat per day. But researchers today are focusing on the amount of protein per pound of body weight per meal. Now, they've determined that 0.18 grams of protein per meal per pound of body weight is the gold standard. Therefore, a 200-pound male calculates to 36 grams of protein. Hence, we've already surpassed the 30 grams of protein per meal standard. Now, the size of the muscle being trained in a single session also affects the amount of protein that can be absorbed. A full body workout requires more protein for recovery as opposed to, say, an arm workout. Age is another factor that is seldom considered. Most people assume that older people need less nutrition due to their atrophied muscles and reduced activity level. In reality, as the body ages, it needs more nutrients. Not only that, the body is slower at breaking down nutrients. Therefore, older people require more protein. Researchers determined that 40 to 60 grams of protein per meal would be required for a 50-year-old, 200-pound male bodybuilder. Now, you might be asking, how many meals should be eaten in a day? Well, I've always believed that 5, 6, or even 8 small meals spread over a 16-hour period is optimum. That is the protocol that has been recommended since the 1990s. However, a single high-protein meal does have its benefits. Now, it will take longer to digest and therefore will supply the muscles with protein over an extended period of time. Now, this is a strategy that Serge Nubret used when he was training for competitions and exhibitions. Now, Serge would eat 9 pounds of horse meat in the evening. He never drank protein shakes during his prime, and for good reason. Consumer Reports noted that many samples of protein powders tested contain heavy metals such as arsenic, lead, mercury, and cadmium. According to the Mayo Clinic, These toxins may cause headaches, upset stomach, thirst, bloating, constipation, and even swelling, which in turn may cause diabetic risk, lower your blood sugar, increase the risk of bleeding, cause abnormal heart rhythms, and even damage the kidneys or the liver. Now, I've always said that whey protein is inferior to food because, it's pasteurized twice, which damages the individual amino acids and that make up the whey protein. Well, and that's very controversial, and a lot of people disagree with me, but we do know that pasteurization does damage those individual amino acids, and that's what we call denatured whey protein. That's what that means. So it is a fact. Now, the bottom line of this whole video is that you need to experiment and find out how many grams of protein you personally can consume per sitting before your body begins to convert it to fat. So everyone's different. And remember, nothing's carved in stone.